Okay, so if you look over here, now we are going to see the structures for alkenes. So we have pentene. So there are two parts of the name, ene and pent. From ene, we can conclude two things. One, that if it's an ene, it means that there is a carbon-carbon double bond. It's ene, it means that the general formula is CnH2n, and pent, if it's pent, it means that there are five carbons, so the value of n would be 5. So if I work for the molecular formula, it will get C5 and H is 2n, so H10. Now I have to make the displayed formula. So if whenever you have to make the displayed formula, first draw the carbons. So how many carbons we have? 5. So what we will do, we will draw 5 carbons by putting the single bond between the carbon atoms in a series like this. It's not. Yeah. Yes. Now, ene is telling me that there is a double bond. So right now what we are doing, we are putting at the double bond at either end, either to the end of the end to the right or end to the left, you can put a double bond over there. Okay. After putting the double bond, what you will do, you will now see how many bonds it has and now how many more it's needed to form. So the carbon which is on the extreme right has how many bonds right now? 2. So it makes how many more? 2. 2 more. So I'll put 2 hydrogens. The carbon which is next to it has how many bonds? 3. So how many bonds it can make more? One. Only one. The next one has a 2 bonds, so we'll make 2 more hydrogen bonds with 2 hydrogen. Next one has a 2 bonds, so bonds with 2 more hydrogen. Next one has a 1 bond, so bonds with 3 hydrogens. Is this understandable? Yes. So see, I didn't count for the hydrogens from the formula, although I know. But what I just did, I just complete the number of bonds for each carbon. And if you will count, you will see that the number of hydrogens that you will get over here or in the molecular formula, both are same. So always try to make the structure like this. Yes, Khatija and Saad, is this clear? Sir, hydrogen, but
Yes, sir.
no, it doesn't matter. If there is a carbon, it has a 2 bonds, you can depend how you place the hydrogen on it. It can be diagonal, upward, downward. Okay, now we have to write the structural formula. So for writing the structural formula, uh, what usually we do, just a minute, please. It is not working. Okay. I'll do one more thing. मेरा अपने कनेक्टेड नहीं वेल्डर जैसे भी ट्राई कर ले। अस्सलाम वालेकुम, बहुत जल्दी आ गए। Okay, now it's visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now how we'll write the structural formula? The structural formula would be written like this, that if you see the first carbon has a 3 hydrogens, right? Yes. So we will write CH3, then CH2, then CH2, then CH double bond CH2. The double bonds between the carbon atoms are always shown in the skeletal formula. Okay, that whenever there is a double bond, so that double bond is always shown in the skeletal formula. Now have a look. So, yeah. Okay. Now after this, I think. Double bond shown. Yes, the double bond between the carbon atoms must be shown. Now, if you have to draw ethene, propene, and butene, that's what I have given in the last class. So see, that's how we will do it. First, we worked on the molecular formula. Then from the molecular formula, we made the displayed formulas. And from the displayed formulas, we made the skeletal formula. Is this understandable to all of you? Yes, Khatija and Saad. Yes, Rohil. Yes, Ammar. Now
Yes,
it's
sir.
it's the what you have to understand what the examiner says. It depends. Examiner sometimes says to write the molecular formula. Sometimes examiner can ask you to write the displayed formula. So you have to follow the instructions provided by the examiner. Okay. Now we have a pentanol. Now see what does pentanol means. If it's an all, it clearly indicates me that there is a OH group over there. And it's an alcohol, which means it follows this general formula CnH2n plus 2O. And pent means C5. So on the basis of general formula, I can make the molecular formula that C5H10, sorry, C5H12O. Okay. There are two ways of writing the general. H11. Yeah. So it would be CnH2n plus 1OH. I have written CnH2n plus 2O. So there are two different ways. Or otherwise it can be like this. C5H11OH. Okay. It's some molecular formula. No. That is the molecular formula. In the structure, they always have OH. So that's what I want to make you understand. See how many carbons it has? 5. Okay. Now, okay, Saad and Khatija, is my screen is visible to you guys?
Sir.
Okay, so if you all know, try to make the molecular the formulas of first five alcohols. I'll check. Do it right now. Yeah, structural, displayed, and molecular formulas of starting from pentanol. Okay, keep the OH on the first carbon. That is the condition. Right now, keep the OH on the first carbon and make the structures of and uh, molecular formulas of from methane. Yeah, methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, and pentanol. Yes, Khatija and Saad, you guys also draw it.
Okay, sir.
So if there are five carbons, what you will do, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 carbons in a row. It's not working. You guys can look over here. You put the 5 carbons in the row, then it's an pentanol. So it means OH is there. So put the OH on first carbon. If you are putting the OH on this carbon, then it becomes first. And if you put the OH on this carbon, then this carbon becomes first. Okay. So the OH is on the either carbon which is at either of the terminal. Now see how many bonds of this carbon are? 2. 2 more are needed, so it makes two bonds with 2 hydrogens. This carbon needs 2 more bonds, so makes 2 bonds with 2 hydrogens. This one also do the same. This one also do the same. And then
सर आपकी स्क्रीन नजर नहीं आ रही.
the last one makes the 4 hydrogens. Now it's visible to all of you. So that's how we make the
Yes, sir.
plate formula. See, I didn't count for the total hydrogens. Now, if you count the hydrogens, you will get the same number of hydrogens which we have in the molecular formula. Now, just draw the structural formula. CH3, CH2, 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 CH2OH. Or it can be written like this. For the first carbon, we can write hydrogens before carbon. So H3C, CH2, 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 CH2OH. Is this clear? Now, you have the names of the four. One, draw those four.
The power CH2 ion. The power CH2 ion.
Yes. One more CH2 and then OH. But now you have to draw for methanol, ethanol, propanol, and butanol. Do that quickly.
लेफ्ट साइड पे H होगा OH होगा.
If you are making the in displayed formula, so from the carbon you will put the bond, then O, then put the bond, then H. Okay, do these quickly. Then four, which is written in the last line. Yeah, the all four: methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. Do all of them quickly with their molecular formula, displayed formula, and structural formula. Yeah. But now we have a different thing. We have a OH in them. That's the difference. Is my screen is showing now? Yes, Khatija and Saad.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Complete these four and then I will check. Khatija and Saad, you guys can WhatsApp me. I'll check yours. The one who are here. Let me check here. So see, it's not the displayed formula. You are not going to get the mark for any one of the displayed formula. No?
So here
For all of these displayed formula, you are not going to get the mark. Here is the displayed formula like this. What is the mistake? You look over here and tell me the mistake. What mistake you did? No, that is fine. See, but displayed formula means that the formula in which every single bond must be shown. So you didn't show the bond between the oxygen and hydrogen. Yeah, that is very important for displayed formula.
सर वैसे पहले होता है
Structure. In structural formula, we put, you know, each carbon.
Each, sir, एक कार्बन के पास जितने बॉन्ड होंगे,
Yeah, the groups attached to each carbon will show them.
तो ये होना CH3OH.
Yeah. So butanol, propanol, ethanol, methanol, they are the structural formulas. Okay. पीछे वाले first four. Yes. हाँ सही है molecular. This time or it's C2H6O. Now draw this skeletal structure. Okay. Now we are going to move towards carboxylic acids. Yes, Khatija. Yes, Khatija, what's your question?
So in ethanol, the
1 minute, 1 minute, 1
sir,
minute.
I was asking then the
1 minute, please. Yes, now you can ask.
sir in structural formula of methanol, मतलब वो सेम ही आ रहा है जैसे उसका molecular formula आ रहा है
No, for
CH2OH.
methanol it can be same, but for ethanol it can't.
Yes, I was asking about methanol.
Yeah, methanol it would be same.
Sir.
Okay.
And sir, one more question that
Yeah.
in ethanol, when I am making the structure, the molecular formula C2H2N plus 1 OH.
Yeah.
So, sorry, plus
CN.
2N plus 2 and O. Basically,
Yeah.
C, मतलब carbon.
Yes. Yes, Khatija.
So, sir, in the second carbon, I am. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, I was asking that in ethanol, when yes, in ethanol, when I am making the discrete formula of from the molecular formula CnH2n plus 2 and
Okay.
OH. So the discrete formula I'm getting is CH2 and CH and one bond OH, but I'm not getting the fourth bond.
See, now look at the screen. This would be the displayed formula of ethanol. And the structural formula would be CH3, CH2OH. Is this clear, Khatija?
Yes, sir.
So what mistake you were doing?
I have written the molecular formula wrong.
Okay, so it is C3H8O, or it can be C3H7OH. So that is the molecular formula. For displayed formula, I will put it like this. If I'll write the skeletal formula, structural formula of this one, so it would be CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. Now, pentanoic acid. So what does anoic acid is telling me? See, pentanoic acid, noic acid is telling me that it's C double bond O, O and H. Pent is telling me that it's carbon 5 and the value of N would be 5. Okay. And there is one more thing that its general formula would be. Yeah. CN, H2N, O2. Okay. Or the other one is CN, H2N plus 1 C double OH. There are two general formulas. Okay. So if I try to make the molecular formula, so the molecular formula becomes C5 H10O2. Is this clear? C5H10O2. Carboxylic acid.
CnH1 plus 1 COH.
That's what I have told you. We have two formulas. There is a one complexity in the second one which you were telling. For example,
Well, complexity.
I will tell you. For example, if I'm saying butanoic acid, so what will be the value of N?
It won't be.
No, it would be 3 for that formula. And there is a high chance that you guys do this mistake.
Sir, what was
Because it's C double. Yeah, it's see, you just told me that formula.
So,
So we got another carbon over here. So you have to always keep the value of N1 lesser than the alk. For example, if I'm saying butanoic acid, so I have to keep the value of N3. If I'm using ethanoic acid, I have to keep the value of N1. And if I'm using methanoic acid, for this formula, I have to keep the value of N0. But for this formula, you don't need to do such things. So it's very easy to memorize the formulas. If you remember the formula of carboxylic acid and alcohol, alkane and alkene. What is the general formula of alkane? CnH2n plus 2. Put an O after, it becomes alcohol.
Yes, sir.
What is the general formula of alkene? CnH2n. Put O2 at the end, becomes the general formula of carboxylic acid. Okay. So C5H10O2 and the other formula, the one which you are saying, on the basis of that, it can be C4H9COOH. Okay. Now, if I go for the displayed formula, how many carbons I have? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I have to make the first carbon or the last carbon that would also going to become a first carbon, a carboxylic acid like this by putting the oxygen with the double bond O and OH group. It's carboxylic acid. It's not a linkage. There would be a ester linkage which is similar to this one. Okay. Then this carbon has 2 bonds, so it will bond with 2 more hydrogens.
Sir, एक carbon के साथ hydroxide or
Yeah, then it becomes a carboxylic acid. So now see, I just completed the number of bonds for each carbon atom, and I will always going to get the equal number of hydrogens as in the formula. Now, if I have to write the structural formula, so it would be like this: CH3, CH2, 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 COOH, and after this, you guys need to draw the molecular formula, structural formula, and displayed formula for these 4 compounds. Do it quickly. Yes, methanoic, ethanoic, propanoic, butanoic. Why you put two hydrogens? First, you have to make the functional group visible. What is the functional group? The functional group. How many hydrogens are there? One. You already put one. Yeah. Yes. It would be same like this one. That for first one, the structural and the circular formula would be similar of this. How many you guys have done? One carbon, right? For math, now I guess there would be one carbon. It's yours in math. So obviously it has a one carbon.
सर मैथ का मतलब एक होता है मैथ मतलब
Yeah. Crystal math
सर आपको
वो मुझे भी नहीं पता
सर आपको बताने आती है
नहीं वो नहीं
सर इथेनॉल के लिए भी स्ट्रक्चरल फॉर्मूला तो सेम ही होगा
Yes. Very good. Yeah. Good.
डबल बॉन्ड का केस नहीं आता
Oxygen only needs two bonds. So if your oxygen is making a double bond with the carbon, then how could it make another bond?
सर तो एक हटा देंगे सिर्फ डबल बॉन्ड कर देंगे ऑक्सीजन
Yeah. Okay. Khatija, is this clear to you as well?
Yes, sir. We're done.
Okay, you can leave as well. Okay, then take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz. After come.